You know what? This was coffee this time. Hey everybody, why am I down there? Why was I down there so low? I don't know. But here I am. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a set of paper miniatures that I put out in 2021 that I think is severely underrated. I have some notes. And it is the Stratosphere Adventures set for Pulp Incorporated. Let's take a look at it after the break. We're back. Hey everybody. This is a little bit different. I wanted to show, I kind of want to do this from time to time. I've got like almost 300 paper miniature sets out there. And I wanted to kind of put a bit of context in some of the miniatures and let you know what's in the bonus material, because as you know, I'm a big fan of bonus material. Yeah, you don't know what's on there. So I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll kind of share a little story about the miniatures and also kind of give some background onto what you can expect when you pick this PDF up. That is available on Drive-Thru Role-Playing. There is a link down below in the comment section. And you can also find my miniatures on my Paper Miniature Patreon. The Patreon now is selling the miniatures for the price that they used to go for, and the price on Drive-Thru Role-Playing for the new miniature sets has increased. But you're going to pay the same on Patreon. I think it's a value-added thing. I think it's a good idea. I think it kind of gives you a benefit of supporting the Patreon. So what miniatures are in the Stratosphere Adventures set? Well, I had a lot of fun putting these together, and whenever I put a Pulp Inc. set together, I try to put together a fake Pulp magazine cover, because who wouldn't want to do that? I love doing that. And so I put a fake cover together for this set, Stratosphere Adventures, and I think I called it Rocket Rangers. An amazing complete novel, as you can see. And there's no novel. In fact, this might be a fun way to kind of generate adventures or make adventures, but I don't have a role-playing game specifically for Pulp. If you've got one that you like to play, let me know. I think there'd be some fun things there. I know that Pulp Alley is a very popular miniature war game. I love the scale of it, the skirmish level as opposed to big, forces. So I've looked into that, and I've done some work for them. They're a great group of people, and I'm going to put a link to their stuff below as well. I think that they've got some really cool ideas, and I think they've got a game that's a winner. I think it's a lot of fun. It's simple to play, and there's a lot of support. So there you go. So with the fake covers, I've got the Rocket Rangers, an amazing complete novel, and I have the Attack of the Skymen. I don't know if that's a sub-story or a spin-off story, or if it's all part of the same amazing complete novel. That would be amazing. But anyway, it's a fun thing to do, and I think it makes the material look really cool, I think. So what did I do? So I obviously came up with a bunch of sort of pulp miniatures that you could use in a game. So I have a bunch of pilots. This woman here looks like a two-fisted pilot. She's got that kind of attitude, and she's wearing a overall, jumpsuit. And I think the real inspiration for this was from the heavy metal movie from the early 80s, where they had the B-17 bomber sequence. And I thought that was a kind of a fun, creepy story. I have this pilot, just a pilot, yes, and she's got her pistol ready for action, wearing her bomber jacket. This guy has his helmet, or not helmet, hat. I don't know. What do you call that when you're putting on the leather over the ears? It's got the little radio, and he's all set and ready to go. Just jumped out of his Spitfire. This guy here's got a parachute in the back, and he's ready to protect the aerodrome. This guy here Tried to make him look a bit like Terry Thomas a little bit. He's got the big mustache, some crazy Brit. And here's I like the way the collar is rolled up on this one. I think she's got sort of a kind of an Amelia Earhart feel to her, which is kind of on point for that era. Pulp era to me is somewhere through the 20s up into through the 50s. There's this weird science, adventure. I think there's a lot to it, and I think Indiana Jones, movies, that whole franchise, tapped into that very, very well. So now, what the pièce de résistance, the Skymen, the Rocket Rangers? Obviously, you're going to recognize this kind of design, this feel. It's got a jetpack on the back, okay, and it's got a helmet on. Some sort of breathing apparatus, obviously, because if you're up there in the stratosphere flying around, you're going to need something. And you're going to say Rocketeer. And yes, I love the Rocketeer. Dave Stevens, got to meet him at Comic-Con in San Diego. Very nice guy. Very gracious with his time. He was busy, and he stopped what he was doing, and he talked to me, which is I was so touched. That was so nice of him to do. He didn't have to do that. But I just wanted to let him know how much his work had inspired my work. And it was just a nice conversation. So yes, I was originally attracted to Rocketeers, like the comic Rocketeer, because of other material that I had consumed as a child that wasn't Rocketeer. In particular, there was a serial, like a series of movies that was played on television called Commando Cody. Commando Cody, and these were from 1952 to 1953 Republic Pictures, very pulpy, and they were this guy with a jetpack and a helmet, and he went out and saved the world multiple times. And there was a direct sequel to that called Zombies of the Stratosphere, which you may have heard of. Leonard Nimoy was one of the bad guys in that. It really captured my imagination, and I tried to bring some of that excitement into this set. I really like the way that this miniature looks like she's just kind of taken off or landing. Her hair blown in the wind, hasn't put on her helmet yet, or just took her helmet off. I think there's some. So I try to give my miniatures character. I don't want them just standing there. I kind of like the way she's kind of leaning to one side, and she's just kind of like observing or listening. And I gave them all these broom handle Mausers because I thought it would be very, very pulpy, which it is. And you can see that they have these, external controls, which they probably like fly with a little joystick or something on there, and then it frees up their other hand for shooting at space zombies. That's what it's for. Here's another one. Tried to give these, like I said, some character. So this guy has this. I think this was the first one I drew, actually. Yeah, this was a proof of concept drawing it for myself. Where he has his Mauser, but also there's a little ring around the exhaust of the rocket, which I thought was kind of jaunty. And then finally, this guy. So that's the main set. You got Rocket Rangers, and you have aviators, okay, which I thought was a good mix of characters for that. And you could have the Rocket Men come in as a force, or you can do them individually. It was up to whatever you wanted to do with it. But I mentioned Commando Cody, and I mentioned some Zombies of the Stratosphere. But in 1949, there was another film that kind of predated all that and kind of built this character, and that was King of the Rocket Men. And that was, to me, I think I found that much later than the others. So I watched them all out of order. But there was definitely a whole franchise or genre of these Rocket Men, and I really like what Dave Stevens did to make it more contemporary and more interesting and believable in a way. So I looked at other inspirations, and one of the other things I was thinking was like sky pirates, and so I thought of instantly. I thought of Hayao Miyazaki's Castle in the Sky, and Dora, not Dora the Explorer, Dora the the air pirate, with her big pigtails. I really loved the design of the character, and so I obviously changed and took some liberties with the look, but I tried to maintain an homage to that character with the bloomers and that sort of thing. And she has a crew of her pirates, which she kind of treats like kids, like her, and they treat her like a mom. So I did this whole little ragtag crew that she could go on some sort of mission with, and they would land and steal something. She's a pirate with a heart of gold. She's a pirate with a heart of gold. Then there was I put some zombies from Zombies of the Stratosphere. I don't think this is. I think the one I tried to get one of them to look a bit like Leonard Nimoy. I think it was this one here. Gave him heavy duty cheekbones on this zombie. But I thought some sort of they could be aliens, they could be space zombies, whatever you want them to be. Another influence, another thing that I was really kind of thinking about when I was considering bad guys for this genre, this subgenre of pulp, was the Gremlins from the Twilight Zone episode, from that William Shatner was in. So we talked about Leonard Nimoy being in Zombies of the Stratosphere. Well, William Shatner in 1963 was in Twilight Zone, and he was a man who had suffered a nervous breakdown and was trying to fly home, had a fear of flying, and this is why he was afraid of flying, because this crazy wool costume guy was on the wing, messing stuff up. So I got some gremlins for the aviators to battle, that they want to save their plane. A pitched battle on a wing of a plane with two of these gremlins. That's pretty good. Do they fly? Where do the gremlins come from? Do they land on the plane? What's going on? Like how does that? Where do they come from? They come from William Shatner's mind. That's where they come from. But the other influence that I was really interested in was I wanted some sort of force of pilots or some sort of kind of paramilitary force, and I was thinking of Black Hawk, which was a quality comic from 1941 that DC acquired, and it's been published with DC. I would think of the Howard Chaykin Black Hawk series that came out in the 80s. I was quite interested in what was going on with this comic, and I really liked the design, and so I did a bunch of sort of Black Hawk inspired miniatures, sort of these sort of paramilitary pilots. Give them some smart uniforms. They look very dashing. Look like they could handle any sort of problem. And this to me was an interest in the pulps and in that sort of era that had been reinvented for the 80s. Again, like Rocketeer, I read this comic and I was very interested. So I went back to the source material, which was hard to find at that time. But I went back to some of the source material and really enjoyed it. I think there's some really, really cool stuff out there that I haven't even touched in this set. But I wanted to have a fairly robust set that you could use for characters and you could use for baddies. I think this one set would be, at least 5 to 10 sessions of gaming out of this, just based on the miniatures alone. Not even, looking for the revenge, but I think there's a lot here that you can use for all kinds of gaming. So if you're not interested in pulp, I think these could be fun for sort of science fiction. I think these could be fun for post-apocalyptic. I think these would be fun for any kind of genre. Superheroes. I think this would be a fun superhero set too. So that's the set. That's the Stratosphere Adventures paper miniature set. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other sets you'd like me to profile. I think this one is one of my favorites that I put out for the Pulp Inc. line. But there's so many more. So maybe there's a set that you want to know a little bit more about. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm trying to put out more videos explaining these things and outlining the kind of work I do. I might put out some process videos as well, show you how I make paper miniatures. Some people like that, but do you always want to find out how the sausage is made? I don't know. That just seems kind of silly, but to me, I know that people are interested, so I would like to help out with that as well. Let me know what you like to see, and keep in touch. Don't forget, I have my work on drive-through role-playing. I have a Patreon for paper miniatures, and I have a new Patreon for role-playing game zines, which maybe, if there's enough interest, I might do a pulp game. I'm not sure if I'd create an original system or use something I've already got. I think Save the Day would work really well with this set. I was running a pulp anime hack game. Where's my anime hack? Here it is. I was running a pulp anime hack game, and it was a lot of fun. I was in the Caribbean, and there was U-boats and all kinds of excitement, float planes, voodoo, all kinds of adventure. And maybe I could put something out for Save the Day, or create something that's original. But maybe it would work with Shadow Dark, or maybe it would work with Mork Borg. I think that would be, wow, Mork Borg would be a lot of fun. It's kind of pulpy already, especially if you use the hero point system that I've been using. You never know. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you want, okay? And that's it for me. I will be back again, and toodaloo.